Wow, that looks really steep, Steve. We're not gonna flip, are we? Entering Washington.
We made it.
The end of the 101 in Oregon. It's awesome! Welcome to the final episode of our Oregon Coast series. If you enjoy our adventures, please subscribe. Join us as we drive on a beautiful beach with an adventurous detour as we make our way to an old shipwreck and a coastal defense fort. We finally reach Astoria and the Columbia River after driving the entire Oregon coast, and what an adventure it's been as we've checked the boxes of seeing a lighthouse, watching the waves crash against the rocky coast, riding a jet boat, riding a horse on the beach, spotting a whale, catching a crab, and driving every mile of Highway 101. We woke up to a gorgeous sunny day in Gearhart, where we enjoyed breakfast outside on our patio with beautiful views. I'm finally eating my bear claw from the Cannon Beach Bakery. It is delicious. A donut. We checked out of our hotel and now we're gonna go spend our last full day on the coast doing some fun things again today.
Shifted into four-wheel drive. We're gonna see if we can make it at street pressure here, at least out to the wet sand. There's been a lot of cars driving along the beach, Subarus and normal vehicles that I don't think aired down. So we're gonna try our hand at least getting out to the soft sand where it's at least a little firmer.
Can you feel it? There's a rushing wind at our back, and we're rushing in, don't even know where.
We were inspired by the Washed Ashore Gallery, and we are going to collect trash that we see along the way.
Getting louder as our feet touch down, follow the night until it's ringing out loud.
Oh, it's so frustrating how much trash is left on the beach.
We found something to hold on.
I think this one was adrift at sea for a little while now.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. Steve thinks that these are 2 more bottles from the Olympics that came across over the ocean.
These blue bottles right here, the ones with the blue caps, actually came from the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
So we hold on and enjoy the ride. After all the ups and downs, this is our time. Enjoy the ride. Can you see it? There's a distant shore getting closer. We want nothing more than dancing away. So we hold on.
What do you guys think of driving on the beach? Is it fun?
Yeah.
All the ups and downs, this is our time. Yeah, we
I think they're goose barnacles because this one, it has a black thing, and goose barnacles have black things.
We ran across literally hundreds of goose barnacles on a large log that had washed ashore. They are also called gooseneck barnacles because the stalk looks like the black neck of a goose. Barnacles are crustaceans related to crabs and lobsters. These gooseneck barnacles grow in colonies and are filter feeders. The creature lives inside, and its feathery legs move in and out, and its mouth is right below the legs. When the tide comes in, its legs sift through the water for food. What a wild sight! After hatching, the gooseneck barnacles are free-floating for 30 days. Their adhesive gland allows them to stick on things like this log and attach. Birds feed on the live barnacles, which are easy prey when they are washed ashore like this. So apparently this log hadn't been washed ashore for very long. The meaty tissue of the gooseneck barnacles is a delicacy in countries like Spain and Portugal, but you wouldn't catch us eating any of it today. What an amazing place and an amazing find. We are having another amazing time on the Oregon coast. We have this beach to ourselves. Again, there's no one by us. It's awesome.
It's like a map. I can play baseball with it.
There. Oh!
When me and Daddy were playing baseball last time I hit it and I got it and I ran all the bases without him getting me.
Whoa, so you had a home run?
Yeah, and then that was the only home run. And one time, Daddy was running the base and I jumped and I got him. And one time, I was running the base and I jumped and Daddy got me.
Thumbs down to all this trash on the beach. I think people come up here and have bonfires and burn their trash and just leave it. This whole area, you could spend all day just like picking up trash. It's unfortunate, but I grabbed what I saw.
You too can do your part to help keep a cleaner beach. If everybody... I don't think so. It looks like a sponge, like a cleaning sponge. If everybody did their part, we'd all have a better beach.
And look at people burn their trash. It's like a milk jug. We are packed to the max, using every square inch and square drawer that we have. So thankful that we have the pull-out drawer for the fridge to get our cold food out, and the cage so that we can stack bags and bags upon the fridge without having everything fall over.
Another mountain left to climb. When you want to run away, find a place to hide.
More trash. It's gonna take us forever to drive 10 miles. We stopped to have a little playtime in the sand, do a little beach baseball, enjoy the water and the sounds of the ocean. And just enjoy being able to have the privilege of driving on it. This is one of the only few areas on the Oregon coast that you can drive. I believe there's at least one other area, if not two more areas, where you can actually drive on the beach. But it is a privilege, and we want to do our part to take care and not throw our trash around and pick up what we find, so that, you know, the beach doesn't get shut down for us to be able to drive on. We had to get turned around at the beach at Sunset Beach, so we're gonna try to get back on the beach up the road here. This is interesting. No maintenance, not maintained for vehicle access. You're worried about getting stuck in the sand. You might get stuck out here. That's really deep. wonder how far we drive on this. Looks like we're almost at the end. Oh my gosh, this is like a river. On the short detour, we ended up having to go through some sketchy, deep, sandy puddles to get back on the beach. Who knew that the most adventurous part of our day would be the detour through this area? I hope we don't get stuck. Another one. Oh my goodness. Let's hope we don't get stuck. This looks pretty deep. Oh my. Are you going slow? Why are you stopping? Sounds like Jaws. Whoa, that's really deep sand there. I'm glad you didn't go that way. Wonder if this is okay to drive through. Does not look like it's been driven through very much. Do you need to scope it out? Oh wow, that looks really steep, Steve. We're not gonna flip, are we? Are you sure?
Feel the dream getting closer, and we're running on the freight. Never gonna slow down. It's time. Pick up the pace, roll the dice.
We had to go around and find another access point. I'm really scared. We're like sideways on this beach dune. We made it down, we survived, and now we're back to driving on the beach in black sand. We are headed up to the end here, Fort Stevens, here we come. Can you believe we're almost to the end of the Oregon coast? Are you happy about that? Me neither. I say we just go back. Drive all the way back down to the south coast, right? Right? We're gonna drive to the Iredale shipwreck from 1906, and I'm curious to find out the details about the shipwreck. And I don't know if we can just like park there by the shipwreck or if we have to go somewhere else and walk down, but we will find out. We spy the Iredale shipwreck yacht yonder.
Come on, let's go.
Made it to the end of the road that you can drive on legally right now at a certain time. If you drive before noon, you can actually drive further north up to Fort Stevens into the park, but it is afternoon, so we cannot.
Iredale shipwreck was from England, and it ran aground on this beach in 1906.
Think this is part of the ship, boys?
On this football field length, so it goes down there to where those two pieces of metal sticking up.
Oh, whoa.
That's, if you can imagine, those are pasted off. It's pretty close. It might have shifted a little bit, but that gives you an estimate of how big the ship was. It deteriorates a lot less when it's under sand, and so sometimes after a big winter storm, you can actually see the whole connecting spine underneath, all the way down to there. There used to be a big long kind of nose, the bowsprit, the nose of the ship. Fort Stevens became a state park in 1955. By 1960, the nose was removed for safety reasons because people were climbing out on it like this, falling 40 feet to the sand and hurting themselves.
The Peter Iredale, a British sailing ship, is deteriorating quickly. It's anticipated that the shipwreck may not be around in another 30 to 40 years. The tallest exposed section currently stands about 20 feet tall.
As it ran aground after being spun 3 times in a bad storm. This is just the very front of the ship. Bottom side stretches all the way over there where there's a vertical piece coming out of the ground. Almost 300 feet.
In the midst of dense fog, the ship ran aground because the captain thought they were 50 miles away from shore. Thankfully, there were no casualties.
What do you think of the shipwreck, David?
Another beautiful sunny day in Oregon.
The Army built Fort Stevens, which was in operation for 84 years and was named after General Isaac Stevens. Besides being a historic military and shipwreck site, it is now a 4,200-acre state park, home to many recreational opportunities, including camping at one of its nearly 500 campsites, making it one of the largest campgrounds in the country. All 3 boys enjoyed touring and playing at the fort, which quickly became one of their favorite parts of our Oregon coast trip. So, Fort Stevens was a coastal defense fort from the Civil War to when? The end of what?
World War II.
So this is the War Games building of 1911. So that's this little wooden building.
We did a self-guided tour of the military sites using a brochure we got at the visitor center, and we got to see about half of the 21 sites along the route. First sight of the Columbia River. Steve took us on the scenic route through the disc golf course.
Look, the machine gun nest on your right. Watch out for a machine gun. Let's go raid the machine gun bunker.
And watch for enemies coming up anywhere out here, and if you saw them, you'd shoot them and report them.
So we left off over here by the museum, and we're walking around this area to tour the different things. There's a Civil War fort over there. That would be cool. And then we're camping down here, and the shipwreck was over here. The boys made it to the top of Battery 245. Battery 245 was the last one put in place, and its guns featured new radar technology and fired as far as 15 miles away. Battery Mischler was originally an open battery and was covered with concrete in World War II. It was perfectly fit for being the Joint Command Center because of its tunnels and thick concrete walls. It had two 10-inch guns mounted on disappearing carriages that could fire their 617-pound shells up to 9 miles away. Underground tours of this battery are available in the summer. The roof has caved in quite a bit in the center. Doesn't look very stable. Steve spotted an eagle way up there soaring. Got my eagle earrings on today. The boys really had fun exploring the Battery Pratt area, which was built to protect against enemy ships as well as submarine mines in the Columbia River. The gun here is a replica of the original 6-inch rifle mounted on a disappearing carriage. Smells musty and old down there. On June 21st, 1942, Japan made a surprise attack on the fort during World War II. An Imperial Japanese Navy submarine, the I-25, surfaced nearby and fired 17 shells toward Fort Stevens for 16 minutes. There were no casualties from the 9 shells that were actually fired at the fort. The fort's baseball backstop was damaged, and the shells created some craters in the area, including one by Delora Beach, where we took the detour for our beach drive. This surprise attack marked the first time a U.S. mainland military base was attacked by foreigners since the War of 1812.
It's a shell.
Shell room?
There's still a shell.
There's a shell, wow.
It's a trap for bringing all the shells and powder out here.
Come on, another passage.
The approximate site of the Catsup Indian village known as
Is it ketchup? Clatsop?
Clatsop. Neonakaluk, which translates into place where the salmon pemmican was made. It was the largest village in the area, used as a summer base camp for fishing and trading. During the latter part of the Civil War, when the government began constructing Fort Stevens earthworks, the indigenous people who still lived in the area were forced to move.
Oh. This fort was really isolated. There were no roads or bridges, and it was served only by boat.
So the World War II barracks and the automotive school from 1941. None of the buildings remain, but the area once hummed with activity. The foundation remnants you see directly here were the boiler room and the restrooms. The rest of the building was wooden and set on concrete piers. The barracks housed up to 65 men.
Take us to Astoria, the oldest settlement west of the Rocky Mountains, dating back to 1811, when there was a Fort Astoria built there. This is a drawbridge that we're going across. How cool is that? I don't know that we've ever driven across a drawbridge before. That's pretty crazy.
Proceed about 1 mile to your destination.
Look at that statue.
Astoria.
So we're gonna throw away our trash that we found at the beach, and we're gonna put it in a trash can in Astoria so it can go to the proper place, the dump, not the beach.
This bottle's from China too.
Oh my. After checking out the 14th Street Riverview Park, more like a pier, we tried to find a place for dinner. We just couldn't leave the Oregon coast without getting another fresh seafood meal. Who would have known that it would be so challenging to find a place to eat? Look at that. That just made it for me. A lot of the restaurants in Oregon are closed on certain days of the week or only open until 6 p.m., and we usually eat dinner later than that. David has to have something with crab. So Daddy's gonna order some crab cakes from the Sea Crab House across the water from Astoria Brewing Company, which is what we finally decided on for eating our dinner tonight. They've got a great view and good prices, and we're glad to finally be sitting to eat something. Just had to order this Marion berry shake and split it up between the four of us because I walked by when we came in and somebody else had one, and I was like, we have to get that. It just looks so, what do you say, delicioso? Delicioso?
I got fish and chips.
I got a fish burger.
Halibut. I got halibut too. It looks good, and the halibut too comes with a view. And what did David get?
I got fish and chips.
And
Got the crab cake. It's literally a crab cake.
after our yummy seafood dinner, we drove across the Astoria-Megler Bridge to another state, Washington. At 4 miles long, the Cantilever Bridge is the longest continuous truss bridge in North America, and when it was completed in 1966, it was the longest continuous truss bridge in the world. Wow, this bridge is crazy cool. Don't drive off of it. We are driving over the Columbia River. I wonder how wide it is. It's massive. We are approaching the end of the 101 that we've been driving on for the last week and a half. There's so much more to see up here that we haven't even seen.
Let's come back and drive the Washington coast now. All the way up to Olympic, right?
Entering Washington.
We made it.
The end of the 101 in Oregon.
We found the end of the road. We've all officially traveled the entire Oregon coast. Check.
We're in Washington.
Thank you to our driver.
So our Oregon bucket list. Did we see a lighthouse?
Check.
Did we watch waves crashing on a rocky coast?
Check.
Did we ride on a jet boat?
Check.
How about riding a horse on the beach?
Check.
Spotting a whale?
Check.
Catching a crab?
Check.
And drive every mile of Highway 101.
Check.
We stayed long enough in Washington to use the bathroom at a rest stop and get a picture of Daniel's first time in the state. Good morning, Daniel. From Fort Stevens State Park. Good morning, David. We arrived late last night, and this morning when we woke up early, it was raining, and it's supposed to rain for 5 days straight here now. And there's mosquitoes everywhere. They're disgusting. We've never had any of the mosquitoes along the whole coast, and then here they're terrible. Anyways, we're trying to get out of here so we can make it to our next destination before it starts raining there. We'll see how we do. We are going to a place I'm really excited about this morning for breakfast. What is it?
Coffee or waffle?
And guess what they sell there? Coffee and or waffles.
Might be
And
waffle.
they look really amazing. Like they have different flavors and really weird kinds.
Maple, allegedly bacon.
It smells like bacon. And really yummy kinds. Berry Nutella.
I want to get a yummy kind like chocolate.
So we're gonna go do that and then head out of Astoria from there. In our next episode, we leave the coast behind us for more adventures, only this time inland. Come along with us as we conclude our time in Oregon and head indoors to check out an interesting museum and a beautiful lodge, and venture outside for an evening hike to a waterfall that we have all to ourselves before having to cut our trip short by one day.